Feature Friday.
The freshest.
The thing that I thought was really interesting, because not many people speak about, and I have noticed other fellow creators speak about it, but one of you sent out this, it wasn't this specific article, but articles like these, which we're talking about, mentioned it before. What's the income like during those training years for them, K-pop idols? What's their income like now? Let's not. I'm gonna try not to use too many examples as like BTS, Blackpink, EXO, GOT7. You know, people that are absolutely blowing, both internationally and in their own nationally, or in Asia, I guess. But I couldn't really find anything about like the average K-pop star, or maybe K-pop people that, or K-pop idols that we don't really hear much about, but they're still touring, they're still performing, they're upcoming. But most people just seem to be focusing on, you know, the big dogs, because I guess the numbers are more impressive and they sell more clicks on their articles and stuff. But
Yep.
this comes from a former K-pop idol called Prince Mac.
Okay. Does it say what group he used to be in?
No. And he says
Google it.
that very few idols actually see how much of that money that they end up making in their bands ends in their own pockets.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. But by the way, the whole millions of dollars and this whole idea of what's your dancer? Henry.
Debuted with the
He's Australian. He's with JJCC.
debuted with the group JCC in 2014 under management of
By
the
Jackie
agency
Chan.
By Jackie Chan. Oh my
Whoa.
God. He recently uploaded a vlog on YouTube in which
He
he
talks
talked about
experiences
while being a part of the group
and
what he
plans for the future. That's awesome.
Mm.
That's all. He's been very vocal. He's 30 years old and he's from Australia. So that's awesome that he's been
He looks 17.
yeah.
No
That
joke.
he's very vocal, and he says that these companies have a system.
Dude, he doesn't look a day of 18.
Yeah. These companies have a system called break even, in which all the money earned by its idols go towards paying back all the money invested in
Yep,
them,
yep.
such as training, food, accommodation, staff, and production. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
that was known. Yeah.
most of you that follow the K-pop world know this, but I thought this would be interesting for people that are
Yeah.
just getting into K-pop, like we are, or they're just interested in how other industries work. And it says Prince Mac says, sick name by the way, says that an average rookie K-pop idol group earns about $4,000 per show, more if they're overseas. More bloody reasons to go overseas and international.
More
Uh,
money.
Which is then
Well,
broken down
I
to
was
a
gonna say-
90%, 10% split.
So they get a 10% of that money.
Jesus
and the
Christ.
rest stays with the agency. That makes
But
sense.
normal, actually, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But normal.
It makes sense. When you read agency contracts.
Yeah, it's about normal,
It's
actually.
about
A bit more, actually.
No, actually, if you want to get into a good agency, like a good offer for an agency, it's like when they give you like 15 to 20%.
You mean agency or label?
No, agencies, because they do the same. Labels are different, but when you put it into perspective, that's the only point of comparison I've got.
Of that 10% going to the artist, it is then split between all the members, of course, so in reality it's not 10% of a group before it is spent repaying back debts, meaning that it's incredibly difficult to earn any money. Using an AOA as an example,
Yeah,
Chris Mack
AOA.
says that while they debuted in 2012, they didn't get huge until a few years later.
Mm-hmm.
Still, it took them until the end of 2015 when they finally paid off their debt and could finally start earning money. So I guess it's sort of this...
It's like
university to
I was
some
gonna
extent,
say,
like a student loan.
It's like paying back your student loan. It's like paying a career. It's paying your career back. It's like paying the government for, enabling to like your financial aid.
That's what I think. I think one of the most important skills that an artist can learn. Let me just do this. That an artist can learn, apart from refining their craft, and keep adding badges and stars to the name. So like in the military, you do stuff, you
Yeah.
get your badges, and you become a more formidable force to be reckoned with.
Mhm,
I think, and one of the things that they should learn, which of course they won't ever be taught, they will have to be learned this on their own, is learning how to market themselves, learning how to build a following on their own, learning how to be as successful as they can for as long as they can independently.
That there's a few good examples in the K-pop industry that do that, and between that is Jackson Wang, Lay,
Yeah.
Henry,
Yeah.
Henry Lau from he used to be in Super Junior, I think.
Don't know.
In like the Chinese.
You've mentioned them before as well. I said yeah, but I don't really know who it is.
And they learned really early on.
Jay Park is obviously one of them.
Jay Park, well, but Jay Park learned the hard way. Yeah, he learned the hard way.
Yeah.
He realized that he had to make a whole life for himself.
Dean independent? No.
Dean, I don't.
He's not independent.
He's not independent. Yeah, I don't think he's independent. But
well, Jay Park is not independent. He's got his own label.
Totally different. Psy from also discovered that they had to
some extent JYP you could say he did kind of figured out the same way.
Exactly, but they figured out that the industry is ruthless and they had to make something for themselves
because you gotta be losing for too many years,
regardless of being in a label or not.
Yeah.
Like how do you handle both things at the same time? And I think I read Jackson speak about it because he just opened his store with all his designs and merch and stuff.
Good man.
It's huge for him. That's a huge step. And he was talking about how he understood really early on that the more that you gain popularity and you know how to handle that popularity yourself,
you gotta funnel it.
But the more you are seen as an an unstoppable force, even in the same label. So they start giving you a persona even when they haven't done that for you. You see that? So it's a positive in all ways, all way rounds. So he was talking about trying to spread out roots in as many ways as possible.
Well,
like
it is.
We're saying.
At the end of the day, it is led by people, that label. So if they perceive you as a big deal, and they know you're doing other stuff, and you're also a big deal somewhere else and other places, your stock value goes through the roof, which I think is something amazing, something that Jackson 1 does amazingly. He excels at interviews. He is a great salesman of himself. He has his brand, his store. He has these collaborations with Western artists. He fits both worlds really well. So
I think, but he has actively worked for that, and the label hasn't done that for him.
Good,
you know.
Good.
And I think that's something really important because
great lessons there for everyone.
For everybody,
for us.
Everybody in the world, anyone who's trying to make a living out of being an artist. I think it's important to know that if you want to succeed at something, you have to do it for yourself, even when you have the tools already. Because a lot of people think the ones that you're with the label, with such a like
huge
for example,
label.
huge label like JYP, like he is with, right? You would think that the job is done then. They would do the things for you. They would take care of these things for you.
Time to relax. You've gone through training years. You've debuted.
You can focus on only doing what you wanted to do, which is performing, focusing on the rest of your training.
No, you're only focusing on what they're telling you to do.
Exactly, but that they're also letting you, kind of want you to believe that you're doing this for yourself, because that's all the whole purpose of the whole thing is, right?
Okay.
But then you stop taking care of the things that will make you grow without them. Because once these contracts are done, once you decide this is it, or if you have done your job and you're not gonna get a renewal contract, then what next, right? What next? What happens next?
Yeah.
Sign with another label, try to hunt down everything from zero again. You know, it's really interesting that there are people out there that are taking the little free time that they've got and translating it into something.
I think that's what every artist should be encouraged to do, especially in the Korean industry, because they go through a systematized. Yeah, well, they go through a system, don't they? Where there's a beginning and there's an end, and you're always being led. You're never leading. Even if you're the leader of a group, you're never really leading, you know. So it's
you become the face of the group, but you're not really calling the shots there.
It's a lesson that I don't think many Korean artists get to learn, and maybe when they do, they realize maybe when it's too late. That's something that, for example, in the Western world, most artists notice that pretty early on.
Yeah.
You know, they do, they really do, and the objective, rappers are noticing it more way more than ever now. The objective
Earlier
is
as well,
now
Yeah.
blow so that then I can do whatever I want by being independent.
Yep.
You know? So, and now because there's so many good role models, Tory Lanez has managed to do it, Chris Brown has done it, Thug has done it. So it's now like a common goal. I think that should also be the common goal over there, because all of these guys could absolutely blow alone. Like, one of the things I don't understand is, like, if there's so many boundaries that the label proposes and puts in place, why? You know what I mean? And then I think you must come to a point, and again, I don't know what it's like to be in there. I've never been in there, so I'm just presuming. But they must come to a point where you're like,
what is the real purpose of all of this?
no, what have I
Achieved
given
for
in
myself, yeah.
what have I given away in order to achieve this?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But yeah, I thought that was a really interesting article. Shit, I don't think I finished it. Yeah, so after they pay their debt, that's finally after 2015 when AOA started making money.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's
wild.
really rough. Sup, people, if you're a dancer. Sup, people, if you're watching this and you're a rapper or a beat producer,
A singer, a ghostwriter, or even just somebody who likes new music,
then this is for you.
Feature Friday is the show where we make new music every week featuring your tracks, your raps, your lyrics, or yourself as an artist.
There's no catch. This isn't one of those weird posts where you click on the website and you're trying to order AirPods and they say it's free and then you have to pay like $100,000 million for shipping. This is completely free. We understand how difficult it is in the music industry to get seen, and there's so many amazing rappers and singers and beat producers out there. So this is just a place to showcase your skills. We showcase our skills. We make music every week, which we love doing anyways. We get to show new artists to new people and new people to the new artists.
So if you'd like to get featured next, message me here on Instagram or email me and we will get in touch pretty soon.
Please do it fast because a waiting list is forming and we don't want anyone waiting around. Keep scrolling by.
See you Friday.
Peace.
Bye-bye.